WNBA world just experienced a game for the ages, and the aftermath has everyone talking. Caitlin the rising star of women's basketball, went head-to-head with Angel Reese in a matchup that had fans glued to their screens. But it wasn't just about the result, it was the reactions that followed, particularly from none other than Hall of Famer Teresa Weatherspoon. After Clark delivered a stunning performance and led her team to victory over Reese's squad, Weatherspoon's reaction was nothing short of explosive. What did she say? Why did this moment shake the WNBA to its core? And how is Caitlin Clark changing the league forever? Let's dive into the drama, the fallout, and the seismic shift happening in women's basketball. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese had been on a collision course for weeks. Fans knew that when these two players met on the court, it would be a battle of epic proportions. Both players had dominated in their respective games leading up to this matchup, with Clark showcasing her sharp shooting, unparalleled basketball IQ, and ability to take over games, while Reese displayed her trademark intensity, rebounding prowess, and competitive fire. The hype around the game was impossible to ignore. Social media was buzzing with anticipation, and analysts debated which player would rise to the occasion. Caitlin Clark had already earned a reputation as one of the best shooters the women's game had ever seen, often drawing comparisons to NBA sharpshooters like Stephen Curry. Angel Reese, on the other hand, was a force of nature, physical, dominant, and relentless on both ends of the court. The stakes were high and the stage was set for a thrilling showdown. The game did not disappoint. From the opening tip-off, both Clark and Reese were locked in. Clark's precision from beyond the arc was on full display, draining three-pointers from seemingly impossible distances. Her ability to find teammates with no-look passes and keep her composure under pressure was nothing short of spectacular. Meanwhile, Reese was fighting tooth and nail in the paint, pulling down rebounds, contesting shots, and trying to will her team back into the game. But as the game progressed, it became clear that this was Clark's night. With each shot, she sank, her confidence grew, and the crowd fed off her energy. Her basketball IQ was evident in every decision she made, whether it was setting up a perfect screen, finding the open player, or drilling a dagger three-pointer to extend her team's lead. By the fourth quarter, Clark had taken over, and it was clear that Angel Reese and her team were struggling to keep up with the offensive barrage Clark was orchestrating. When the final buzzer sounded, Caitlin Clark had led her team to a decisive victory, leaving no doubt about who the best player on the court was that night. The media couldn't get enough of Clark's performance, and analysts were quick to praise her for not just her shooting ability, but her leadership and poise in a high-stakes game. But the real fireworks came after the game, when legendary WNBA player and Hall of Famer Teresa Weatherspoon reacted to the result. Known for her fiery personality and passion for the game, Weatherspoon had been watching the matchup closely. As one of the most respected figures in women's basketball, her opinion carried significant weight, and her reaction to Caitlin Clark's performance was anything but subtle. In a post-game interview, Weatherspoon didn't hold back. "What Caitlin Clark just did on that court was pure magic," she said. "I've seen a lot of great players in my time, but what she brings to the game is something special. She's not just out there playing, she's orchestrating. She's controlling the flow of the game, and she's making everyone around her better. That's greatness." However, Weatherspoon's comments about Angel Reese were what truly ignited the media storm. When asked about Reese's performance, Weatherspoon responded bluntly, "Angel is a great player, no doubt about that. But tonight, she got outplayed, plain and simple. This is a wake-up call. If she wants to be the best, she's got to bring more than just physicality. She's got to elevate her game mentally. Caitlin showed what it means to rise above the moment, and that's what separates good players from great ones." The sports world erupted. Teresa Weatherspoon's words hit hard, and fans immediately took to social media to debate her critique. Was she being too harsh on Angel Reese, or was she simply speaking the truth? Some fans agreed with Weatherspoon's assessment, pointing out that while Reese's physicality was her biggest strength, Clark's basketball IQ and ability to control the game put her in a league of her own. Others defended Reese, arguing that she had an off night and that it wasn't fair to judge her based on one game. Angel Reese, never one to shy away from a challenge, quickly responded to Weatherspoon's comments. In a series of tweets, Reese made it clear that she wasn't going to let the criticism bring her down. "I respect the legends, but I'm not backing down," Reese tweeted. "I'll take this as motivation to keep working and getting better. You haven't seen the best of me yet." Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark remained focused and humble in her post-game interviews. When asked about her performance and the reaction from Weatherspoon, Clark downplayed the praise. "I'm just trying to play the game the right way," she said. "I know Angel is a fierce competitor, and she's going to come back stronger. Tonight was just one game, and there's still a lot of basketball to be played. Despite Clark's humility, the narrative surrounding her continued to grow. Her ability to dominate on the court and rise to the occasion in big moments had fans and analysts alike calling her the future face of the WNBA. The media couldn't get enough of the Clark-Reese rivalry, and with each passing game, the contrast between the two players became more pronounced. While Reese thrived on emotion and physical play, Clark's cerebral approach to the game and her ability to dissect defenses with her passing and shooting put her in a different category. As the fallout from Weatherspoon's comments continued to dominate the sports headlines, Caitlin was quietly shaking up the WNBA in other ways. Her influence on the court was undeniable, but her off-court moves were just as impactful. Clark had been using her growing platform to advocate for better resources and support for women's basketball at all levels. She was vocal about the need for more media coverage, higher salaries, and better facilities for WNBA players. Her leadership wasn't just about what she did during the games, it was about pushing the entire league forward. Clark's rise was happening at a pivotal time for the WNBA. The league was experiencing unprecedented growth, both in terms of viewership and sponsorship, and players like Clark were at the forefront of that momentum. Her combination of skill, marketability, and leadership made her the perfect ambassador for the next generation of WNBA stars. Fans were drawn to her not just because of her incredible performances, but because of her genuine love for the game and her desire to see it grow. As for Angel Reese, the loss and the subsequent critique from Teresa Weatherspoon lit a fire under her. Known for her relentless work ethic, Reese doubled down in practice, determined to prove that she could elevate her game to the next level. The rivalry between Clark and Reese, already one of the most talked about stories in women's basketball, was about to get even more intense. With both players continuing to dominate and push each other, the WNBA was entering a new era of competition and excitement. The days of being overshadowed by the NBA were fading, and stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were leading the charge. Their rivalry, combined with the league's growing popularity, was setting the stage for a golden age of women's basketball. The clash between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese was more than just a game. It was a moment that highlighted the future of the WNBA. Teresa Weatherspoon's explosive reaction to Clark's victory and her pointed critique of Reese added fuel to the fire of an already intense rivalry. But beyond the drama, this game represented the evolution of the WNBA as a whole. Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom, her leadership on and off the court, and her ability to change the game with her basketball IQ were shaking up the league in ways that would be felt for years to come. Angel Reese, ever the competitor, wasn't backing down. The loss to Clark and Weatherspoon's comments would only serve as motivation for her to come back stronger and continue to push the limits of her game. The rivalry between Clark and Reese was just getting started, and fans couldn't wait to see what happened next. One thing was clear. The WNBA was entering a new era, and Caitlin Clark was at the center of it. Whether you were a fan of her sharp shooting or Reese's relentless drive, there was no denying that these two players were redefining what it meant to be a superstar in women's basketball. And with Teresa Weatherspoon's words still echoing in the background, the future of the league had never looked brighter.